So, as promised, as we've had the Beacon family chatting away, which was lovely, sharing all their stuff. It's nice, isn't it? Isn't it a great place?
Beautiful. So relaxing.
It's serene, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I struggle with serenity, but my God, it's good here.
Yeah. I think hearing May talk about using the space for writing, I think that would be a great place. I tend to go out to a little place near Tenterden, but maybe I'll come back here now.
See?
Yeah.
Because you're a Bexhillian.
Indeed, yeah.
The lovely Sam Davey we have.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hello, everyone.
I know.
Hi.
Sam Davey, the chosen queen and other stories, I call you.
Yes, indeed.
I know, but you've done other books. But
yeah.
So I interviewed Sam last year at the Literary Festival. It was great fun. We had a lot of fun that day, didn't we?
Absolute
It was
blast.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And it feels like getting her back on, but you've not seen Sam Davey on this couch.
Yeah.
So welcome, darling.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm so pleased because I've got some quite exciting news and it's brilliant to be able to share it.
Tell us.
Well, people have probably heard that it's going to be a bit of a year for Norman heritage. We've got the Bear Tapestry coming to the UK.
Yep.
And Hastings Council put a call out for people who wanted to do something around Norman heritage. These are days where there isn't a huge amount of money, but they were able to give a little bit of money for people to do some work on this. And I really wanted to explore language. And I need to say at the beginning, I'm not an expert. I have an interest very much in English poetry and prose between 600 and 1500. But I'm not, I'm an amateur, not an expert. But I thought that
I think self-taught.
interest. Oh yes, I'm an autodidact.
You are. Oh,
good one.
Autodidact.
But I thought, as I'm interested in it, other people could be.
Yeah.
So what I'm wanting to do is to pull together an anthology of new writing, which is, its conceit is there will be 10 chapters and in total 66 pieces. Nice. So that's what I'm looking for. Poetry or prose, fiction or non-fiction. But the sort of inspiration is really around the way that language changed as a result of the Norman conquest. So there are some fascinating things. So things like no man's land, that phrase that we think of probably is associated with the First and Second World War, first appeared in the Domesday Book. Wow. So we wouldn't have that expression without the Domesday Book, without our Norman heritage. Yeah. So many of our the language we use around law and government, so things like parliament, advocate, jury, all of those words are words that came to us through the French.
Yes.
But what's really fascinating is our Old English, which is very Germanic.
Yes.
With our the Norman conquest and the Norman conquerors being very much our new aristocracy, the language evolved. A lot of it became a combination of French and Latin.
Yeah.
But again, things changed over time, and it then became Middle English. We didn't become a French-speaking nation, but we absorbed that language. There are thousands of words that have either a very, very obvious French root, or if you look at them, you can see where the origins come from. And linguists recognise that it's probably about 30% of our current, what we would call the English language, has a French root. And the only root that's bigger than that is the Latin root. Wow. So I just thought it would be really interesting to think about that. Thinking about it from the perspective of Hastings. So the 10 chapters have got things like fishing in the sea, castles, love, moon and magic. But to actually, in terms of the language, to think about this in terms of that heritage. And the other thing I plan to do is analyse all of the pieces that are published. So I'm not asking the authors to do this. I can do this so that we can then look at it and actually say, out of these 66 pieces, 40% of the language used in these 66 pieces has come in entirely from that root. So it's a genuine positive way in which we can show our language evolved as a result of this.
This is evolution, because people think that the English language is just arrived.
No.
You say it really didn't. It evolved, and it's become a progressive
Yeah, absolutely.
Organic structure.
And
isn't
it should. I mean, language needs to reflect the needs of the time. We need to have words. And I was somewhere and people were talking about that fake Welsh word poppity ping, which is the word that people think is a word for microwave. It isn't actually, but it's become such because it's what it's been called.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't need a word for microwave in the 1920s.
No.
But we have to respond to changing times. And I think it's also something that's really positive in terms of the way that we view our society. Our society should be inclusive, it should be collaborative.
Absolutely.
And
it should reflect that.
Absolutely. And I think it's really interesting that we talk about, or some people might think about, this little England syndrome, but actually England, we are a melting pot.
And we always have been.
Exactly, and that is, I think, what is so special about English and this place that I love.
And we can celebrate that, can't we?
Yes, and this, I think that's what I'm hoping this project will do, is to look at the concept of how language has changed as a really positive thing that is about our own identity. And so what I'm hoping is that local people who actually maybe write already or might be inspired to write will get involved in this project.
So how do they do that?
Well, I'm running a series of workshops for people. They start, let me just quickly give you the dates, but these are available online. So they start on Monday the 15th of June.
Wow. Oh, next week.
Next week. And they continue through until the 8th of July.
Nice.
You don't have to attend all of them. Some people might want to, because if they feel that they'd like some support with their writing, they can come along and we can see how their pieces progress. Or if you just want to come along to find out a bit more about it, I'm going to be producing writing prompts for all of the different chapters, and a lot more information about some of the words that people may wish to use if they want to, but it's not constraining. The workshops are being held at the Maslow Housing Cooperative, number 5 Harold Place, which is very fitting.
It is.
Very
right
fitting.
in the middle of the town.
Absolutely.
Nice.
They're free to attend, they're fully accessible, and anyone is welcome. So it'd be great if people want to come to that. They can also get more information from emailing me, and I'll put that information up.
Lovely,
And they just need to find out a little bit more about the size of the pieces and the word count. The other thing I should say, which I'm really excited about, is we're going to be producing an anthology.
I was going to say, is it going to get published?
Lovely. And that will be launched at Hastings Week, which is great. But sneak preview, thank you, Tim Barlow, who is now one of the directors of the Hastings Book Festival.
Yes.
We are also going to be having a sneak preview session of the work as part of the Hastings Book Festival. And there'll be a couple of events themed around the Norman conquest and 1066. And this will be an opportunity for people who've contributed to the anthology to read their work and share it with the wider public. So I'm really excited about that.
Sounds great.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. When is the Hastings Book Festival?
It's the end of September.
It is the end of September.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure of what date this will be programmed on.
I have it, because we're going to be featuring in there, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, so that will be great.
This sounds absolutely, and it's so of its time. It's so needed right now.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the more people understand about our language, the less frightened they are.
Yeah.
I mean, they can get in their corner and say, actually, it's an evolving, beautiful. It feels like a beating heart of our culture, our language. It's really important.
Absolutely.
And I love the fact that you're an autodidact.
I am. Yes.
You've
One
been
of
a
my
bit
favourite words.
Before we go, the reason I had to interview you last year, which I had the absolute pleasure in doing, was to bring about The Chosen Queen, which was your second book, but the first in. Are they the Pendragon series?
The Pendragon Prophecies.
Prophecy,
Yeah.
I love that. Because people often say about the Arthurian, they call it the Arthurian legends, don't they? But you've come at it.
I tend to call them the Legends of Camelot because I'm coming at it from a feminist perspective. I want to tell the stories of the women.
Yeah.
And I also view it through a very different lens. I think more a psychological lens, and a lens that is very strongly embedded in the sort of socio-economic
and relationships.
times, and absolutely relationships. Yes.
So you've taken it from a different view, whereas when you work it from the guys, it's conquering, fighting, overcoming, and whereas yours is from a very different standpoint. And in your hand, darling, in your hand, there's the camera. We have Sisters
Look
and
at
the
it.
Sword.
Oh, is that the new one?
Yes, this it comes out in a few days' time in the States. It won't actually be available in the UK until August, and it'll be available as a book, as an audio book, and also as an e-publication. And I obviously. My publishers created it, but they have done such a beautiful job,
haven't they?
The cover
I
is
thought the
just
first cover was
stunning,
and now the second cover. My goodness!
and this is.
So whose story is this?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
So this is the story. The first book ends with the birth of Arthur.
Yeah.
So he's a tiny baby. This starts 20 odd years later. It tells the story primarily of Morgan and Morgause, who are Arthur's older sisters. And in terms of the Camelot timeline, it begins about a year before that sword is famously pulled from the stone.
What a great way to approach the Pendragon prophecy. I love this so much. Now, how many more are there?
Another 3.
3.
Yeah. So I'm.
You're already started.
Yeah. I'm about 50,000 words into book 3, which I've got to try and finish by September to meet my deadlines. And then there's 2 more to come after that.
Good Lord, woman. You're just like a powerhouse.
I try.
Yeah, you succeed. Tony, thank you. So where do we find you on the socials?
So I'm on Instagram as Sam Davey Author.
Yeah.
You can find me on Facebook just as me, Sam Davey.
Yeah.
And then my website is called Rough Magic, which is a quote from The Tempest, which is my favourite Shakespeare. So yeah, Sam Davey, Rough Magic.
I love that. Oh.
Really good. Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, particularly the feminist angle.
Yeah.
There's there seems to be a lot of writers doing that at the moment. I think there was one about Troy. And, and there's and I suppose Margaret Atwood's one about the Odyssey.
Yes.
Feminist telling. So it's really, it's
You're
interesting.
on trend, darling.
Yeah, we never hear about it.
Well, I think it's women have
Much
always
needed.
have always played a part in these stories, but frequently they've not been the narrator. They've not had any agency, and so I think it's really interesting. And a lot of great writers. I mean, Natalie Haynes, people like Margaret Atwood, Penelope Lively, Pat Barker, Madeleine Miller, looking at these stories. And I must admit, when I started to write them, I got a lot of pushback from agents saying, do you have to tell the Celtic ones? Can't you do the Greeks? And I said, no, I've just given you a list of people who are already doing the Greeks. They are brilliant female writers.
Yes, you don't need to keep reinventing that wheel.
No, but I want to tell the Celtic stories.
I love that.
And I'm delighted and privileged to be able to do so.
I love that because it's a massive corner. Well, it's a cornerstone of, from a feminist perspective.
And the research must have been quite hard as well, though, because I imagine the stories aren't told.
It's not only are they the women are footnotes. There's also so many different variations, and this is where my interest in the language comes in, because what's fascinating, the first collective stories, which is found in Geoffrey of Monmouth's book, The History of the Kings of Britain, which came out in the 12th century, was entirely sponsored by Harold's descendants. It's very much Norman propaganda. And after that, nearly all of the subsequent work is French and written in the French language. People like Chrétien de Troyes, you've got women there, you've got Marie de France, but they all tell the same story in a different way. And that gives you a lot of flexibility because you can choose, but it also means you've got to. There's a lot to read.
Of course.
To get to the bottom of, because you have the same story told with different characters by different people, and you think, who actually was that?
But I know you. I know that when we sat down, because I'm aware we've got a round up, and I know time. Ooh, I hate the constraints, because we've got to have you back and do an unpack. I think because this is a plug, but I think we need to unpack. We do proper Sam Davey, because of your years of being of the work that you've worked for different organisations. August which we will discuss at another time. That research is something that you absolutely love, and you love to
Absolutely.
deep dive, don't you?
Absolutely. Yes.
And for those reasons, these books are fantastic. You're a very, very clever storyteller. You really paint pictures for me as an autistic woman. I love the fact that you illustrate everything. You're really good at what you do. I can smell the fire. I can feel the fabrics. And that's not a womanly thing. That just makes me very aware of how you tell stories. And they're sumptuous and they're
so
hard.
kind of you, Patsy.
But instead of it thrashing through, yes, we get that, we understand that, but I want to sit around and hear what actually happens on the day to day, and you're very good at that.
Oh, thank you.
No,
Thank
you're
you.
just superb. You're riveting, absolutely.
Thank you.
Bless you, darling. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So good luck with the course and everything that comes in it. All the people, I'm sure. What's the uptake like?
Well, we only launched it yesterday, but I've had people actually already contacting me, people who would love to collaborate. I've had a few people sending in, so I'm really excited, and I think it's something that I think a lot of the creatives in Hastings will love. But it's also an opportunity for people who've never written before,
Absolutely.
but really would
Don't
like
be
to get
scared.
something.
Just
exactly.
throw
Don't be
your hat in
scared.
the ring.
Yeah.
So when this goes out, you can send this far and wide, and this explains it, and then whoever comes.
Brilliant.
They're
Thank
meant
you.
to be, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Thank
they
you,
are.
darling.
Thank you.
Sam David.
Thank you.
Our town has plenty. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you, darling.
Thank
Bless your heart.
you.